What we have here is I think it's a 77?
Yes.
77 Chevrolet C10. Nice unit, doing a Restomod here. Pretty sweet ride. It's been in my friend's family here since it was new, so. We're lowering it. How much?
3.6.
3.6. And not 3.6 Mafia either. 3.6 in the front, 3 in the front, 6 in the back. So we're starting on the rear. We've already got lifted up here, as you can tell. Pull the rear wheels off. So the rear is gonna be a flip kit. So there are different ways to lower trucks depending on how the rear suspension is set up. If you got one like this, where the axle is underneath your leaf spring pack, then typically you'll do a flip kit, which will relocate the axle to the top of the spring pack, and that's where you're gonna get your drop from. If it was some trucks, the axle's already on top of the spring pack, so you could just do a lower block. So put a block on here, it would do the opposite. It would raise it. So let's look at the parts we got. This is gonna be this is a DJM kit. Let's check it out. Got some new U-bolts, some plates, some brackets, some bump stops, some hardware. Typical stuff. So it should be relatively easy. It shouldn't really be nothing but pretty much unbolting the leaf springs, throwing them under the rear end, doing the bracketry and whatnot. Bolts out and our old plate out. At this point, the rear end can swing down, but I think we're planning on just taking the leaf out and leaving the rear end where it is.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Bet. So now we're going to be unbolting the leaf pack from the hangers. We'll be undoing the rear here. I'm assuming we're retaining the stock shackle. I didn't see another one in the box. So. Get the leaf pack out, then we'll just be able to take it out and then put it below the rear end. We got this leaf pack out, so I've got it clamped together with some C-clamps. A little sketchy, but not really. So we gotta take loose this center pin bolt that holds the pack together, and we've got to flip it so the nut is on the other side. That way it lines up with the holes in our new brackets, which is common on some of these flip kits. I've had to do them on other brands on the different year model trucks too. So. Okay, that wasn't too bad, other than having to hold the pin with some pliers, because there's really no bolt head on it. I'm just going to flip it around and throw it back in there. Okay, got a leaf pack bolt flip as per the instructions. So now we gotta do the other side. So we're at a stopping point here. We got both leaf packs out, but on one of them well, it disappeared, but anyway. The pin that goes through the center is seized up, so we got to get another one. Other than that, we got the other than that, got the bumps. got the bump stops cut out. Had to cut the rivets off. The kit came with some new ones. But yeah, we've done all we can do until we get those new center bolts for the leaf springs. So after that, we can put everything back together. We got some new shocks too. Throw that on there. Then we can get cranking on the front. So it was just going along too easy. I knew something had to hang up. It was just too easy. Too easy. So that's it for today. So we'll continue maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Whenever we get the rest of the parts. But another day. We got the center pins we were waiting on and got these put in. So now we're jacking up the rear end so we can put the leaf springs under the rear end and put our new bracketry in. Got our leaf spring in, now we gotta put our bracket. It's gonna locate the rear end. Okay, and then the rear end will sit in this saddle right here. Okay. All right, so now we've got the truck raised up. Everything's still loose. So these locate the rear end. You get the pinion angle dialed in. So now what we gotta do is put our lower plates on and our new U-bolts. Got the bracketry in, the U-bolts, the plates in. Looking pretty good. Pinion angle's looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nice. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. So now we need to get our we got some drop shocks. We gotta do these put some drop brackets on. Then we'll just come back and torque the rest of our hardware down and we'll pretty much be done with the back. So we got our shocks in here, just gotta tighten them up. The kit comes with some extender brackets. There's one over there, but being that these are shorter, we didn't end up using them. So one more look at the rear before we put the tires on. So recap, just had to flip the pin in the leaf pack, move the leaves to the bottom of the rear end. Throw on this centering bracket, new lower bracket, U-bolts, bolt your shocks up. So, not a bad job. Couple hours if you ain't, or faster than that if you done it before and you ain't dealing with rusty bolts and whatnot. So we're gonna throw the wheels on, sit it back down, see what it looks like, and move on to the front. All right, on to the front. So we already got the wheels off. There's our parts. These are some drop lower control arms. So basically what this does is Heavy boogers. Especially lower, it's gonna raise the spindle in relation to the coil spring. So, if that makes sense. And we got the lowers there. So they got new ball joints, new bushings. Got some factory style upper replacements from Move. And we got some drop shocks. Alright, so first I'm pulling this brake line bracket. Pull the calipers off. And then we can get loose a tie rod, up our ball joints, pull the spindle out. Make sure you support the lower control arm. So that way when you take it loose, the spring doesn't come out and you die. It's not a preferable situation. Okay, so we got a tie rod pulled, got our cotter pins out, pull this brake caliper off, get that hung up out the way. I'm gonna start working on these ball joints. Gotta remember that brake hose goes under the control arm for the back go. I'll start pulling these ball joints, ball joint nuts. Got our nuts busted loose. Take loose our shock here because it's not allowing our, I kind of forgot about it. It's not allowing our full control arm to drop all the way. So there's still some pressure on this, so we still got it supported. Let's go ahead and get that pulled out. Okay, we got that out of the way. We should be able to drop everything down. Good. Oh yeah. Got our spindle out, and I busted them loose with one of these, which is not ideal to use if you plan on retaining your, if you're not replacing the ball joints, because it'll bust these boots up, but we are, so no biggie. So next we will go ahead and drop this lower out, and I'm just going to leave this folded up because we're not going to use that. Drop this lower out, so it should just be these U-bolts here, and this thing should come right out. Cool. Let's compare a old one to a new one. So basically, you want to look at the spring pocket. This one is cut down a lot deeper, so that's where you get most of your drop from. Also, if you notice, looks like the ball joint angle is at a better angle. This one kicks up, this one's more flat. So the way you want, should help with camber and should help not have such an extreme ball joint angle. So make your ball joints last longer. So yeah, pretty much got it blew apart. One thing I gotta do, I gotta take that gotta replace this upper control arm with the new one. So probably go ahead and do that now. So make sure you keep track of your shim packs and where to go. And it's probably gonna have to be changed after you get in alignment. This will at least get you back, get you a good baseline. Okay. Okay. We went ahead and put the lowers in. I didn't record it because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But got the uppers in, and then we decided to go ahead and change the tie rods. So we got those out. So now we're just going to be putting the spring in, then putting it all back together. Alright, so we got a spring in. Supporting it with our floor jack here. Now we're putting our spindle back in. Okay, so we got everything bolted back up, spring in, both arms in, everything torqued down. One thing I got left to do is brake line bracket. The new arm came with this. I guess this is for a different year model or something, but we're still going to use this one. Got to bolt up my brake caliper. I might have to jack it up some more so I can get another shock in. Okay, so we're back. This is day 3 or 4, or I don't know. One of them. So this is what we done last night. I didn't get a lot of recording done because I started running out of battery. But anyway, we got our lowers in, got our uppers in, and yeah, so today we were waiting on pick up the new tie rods, which we got. But we had a problem where our new shocks, the stud that they go into is too big for to fit in this bushing. So we're trying to find out a solution for that, which we're working on right now. So on this style, you got an inner and outer, and you got an adjustment sleeve. So what you want to do is just, and these are threaded opposite, so there is a difference. So what you want to do is just start one, just get it started, and start the other one. So once you have them threaded in, use your stock one as a guide to get the length dialed in, and then you just want to use the sleeve only to do the adjustment. That way you have equal thread insertion on both sides. You spin it down so it matches the length. Use your old one for comparison till you get the same length. That way you have a good baseline for your alignment. It's pretty much done with it. Kind of had to do some rigging on these shocks. It'll work, but probably end up having to get the DJM ones to match the control arm. I think it's a conspiracy, but that's what it looks like. A little bit of Cali rake on there. I dig it, pretty sweet.